Okay, so hi everyone. So for today episode 14, we're gonna talk about kids or child influencer. So before we dive more into the topic, kita nak cakap pasal before ada kids influencer. Macam me as Gen Z, we used to influence by what? Macam kalau macam me, I used to influence by my friends lah in real life. So sebab kita orang pun macam jarang ada social media apa semua kan.
Yep.
So dulu we used to have this macam if you remember my Monster High punya purse bag. So bila when I see like my friend pakai that purse, I pun macam rasa influence I nak beli purse tu, and then I suruh mak I belikan. Then I dapat. So macam kalau you pula macam mana?
I would say it was similar lah masa zaman macam sekolah rendah, when nobody was using like social media. Everyone was just like, going to school with friends. And masa tu I would say like the influence you had with friends that came from around you kan at school, macam for benda-benda yang macam the type of bags that you bring, macam you cakap like Monster High kan, and then you remember yang those like pink and black, macam lebih kurang lah Monster High punya pink and black punya pencil case lah, bag lah. So that type of things, like once you see your friend ada, mesti you nak beli juga.
Lepas tu kan, okay, ni macam we listen we don't judge moment. So macam dulu zaman macam 2013 macam tu, I think macam kamera Canon dengan iPad tu macam were rising up time tu. And then like my friends ada yang beli iPad apa semua kan. And then macam I pernah I pernah cakap I ada iPad, tapi actually I tak ada pun. We listen we don't judge. Lepas tu sebab I just don't wanna feel macam left out. So tapi I tak adalah macam sampai paksa my parents untuk macam I need an iPad, macam I ada iPad, kawan-kawan I semua ada iPad macam tu. Tapi tak, I just lie for fun macam tu kan.
It was just enough to like tell your friends like, oh, I pun ada iPad, I pun main game ni tau.
Exactly. So it's just that. So macam you tak adalah sampai macam influence my parents untuk macam you guys need to buy me an iPad macam tu kan. And then like macam parents pun rasa macam pressure ke apa kan. Masa macam my parents macam jangan nak ngada-ngada, just like that. And then dah habis itu je. But in macam today era kan, dia macam a bit different sikit when kids influencer start to macam masuk. Before kids influencer, they were like macam Disney star kan.
Yes.
Macam Nickelodeon punya cast kan, macam
iCarly, Hannah Montana, High School Musical.
I used to believe yang pair phone tu wujud.
Yes, I love that. That like the pair phone macam like, ooh, it's so much better than Apple.
Tapi benda tu tak wujud pun.
Yeah.
So itulah kita orang nak talk more about the influencer yang sekarang ni kan. So sekarang kids are dominating the social media, especially the Gen Alpha. So tapi you rasa like how did it all start?
I think kid influencers, like you mentioned lah, back in the day we used to have kid celebrities, kid stars, macam the ones on Disney Channel and Nickelodeon. So they were our kid influencers, I would say, back then. Like seeing, you want to be, because those were like the shows that we watched balik sekolah kan, buka TV Astro, and then you see them on screen, and technically you want to be them kan. Macam like Hannah Montana had like that double life punya thing going on, and I was imagine if I was a star whenever I'm not in schools.
Yeah.
And macam back then we only saw them when we opened up TV. And nowadays we have kids even have like phones with them, like by the age of like maybe 7, 9, 10 lah kan, maybe 10.
My sister have like her own iPhone now.
Okay. So macam back then, even if we had a phone masa tu, tak ada access to all macam TikTok, I would say.
Yeah.
Or even YouTube. Masa tu like the best you could go online was like macam messenger punya apps. So it was like mostly influenced by friends and stuff. But then nowadays kids have access to like TikTok, YouTube, and then you see people like, okay lah, among the kid influencers yang I tahu macam Ryan's World, and then there's like Jojo Siwa. She used to be a kid influencer, right? And then I think TikTok has a bunch more. I tak kenal sangat.
Ya, tapi yang you mention tu dia macam more tu macam entertainment tau. Macam Ryan's World ni dia promote toys kan. So it's still a kids thing. But nowadays the kids influencer ni to focus on lifestyle. Macam Life with Herb, macam Evelyn, Harley Booth. Diorang tu semua macam focus on macam lifestyle, like Get Ready With Me. So they start to use macam adult product, macam skincare and stuff.
I think I've seen those like macam they it's a 12-year-old kid tapi dia pakai macam Sephora.
They try to imitate the adult punya lifestyle. So I rasa benda tu it's something yang macam a bit like negative lah for Gen Alpha. Sebab diorang shouldn't act adult pun. You should act like a kid lah. Kan? So diorang pun sebab budak-budak ni dia senang influence by what they see. And sekarang diorang pun banyak guna social media and banyak tengok all these kids influencer. They want to be like them. So they want to act like an adult. Diorang nak try makeup. Even the kids buat nails and stuff. So macam I want to look like them. Macam I want to be them macam tu kan. So it's influence negatively, I can say.
I should say macam from a point of view, it could also be the fault of the adults. Sebab like
the parents lah.
Yelah, kita as adults we put out whatever content yang ada kan online, and these kids, because they have unrestricted access to all these contents, diorang akan nampak on diorang punya FYP. So definitely macam if like an unsupervised kid has access to all these macam influences for adults, of course they would be influenced to become like them. So macam I think if we're talking about macam platforms lah, macam kenapa how do these platforms sorry, I tengah fikir the word. How do these platforms adapt to like kids as like internet users kan, social media users? I think macam YouTube Kids is a good way to like still be a platform, entertainment platform for kids to roam kan, and search videos, because they have like they close down the comments, meaning dekat any YouTube Kids punya videos you won't be able to comment or anything kan. And then but those are just like yang I tahu lah macam YouTube Kids, where YouTube has that kind of things set in place for kid users. Tapi macam TikTok, Instagram, like if there's no macam supervision by adults, they have access to so many things.
But I think TikTok is so macam very inconsistent moderate all the kids punya creator ke or kids punya account kan. Sebab bila account tu biasa-biasa je, TikTok senang je ban this kid punya account, macam budak-budak punya account. But when the kids is actually an influencer or macam banyak followers apa semua, diorang tak ban pun TikTok tu, the account. Sebab I think it's making money lah untuk TikTok and both the creator. So that's why. And for me, diorang boleh create satu this what we call macam fear of missing out. As I said tadi pun, kids tend to macam tak nak rasa left out. So they want to jump in whatever the kids influencer. Macam sekarang diorang ada term twinsfluencer. Twinsfluencer ni macam influencer age range about macam 11 to 15 years old.
Okay.
Macam tu. So imagine lah budak-budak dah tahu Sephora punya produk. Macam apa? 11 apa? I don't know lah apa dia panggil tu kan. Diorang 11 something. Also macam Fenty Beauty. Macam I sendiri pun tak pakai Fenty Beauty. But these kids dah tahu dah. And then like macam kalau kat Malaysia you can see Aisyah Diarania, anak Cik Ta tu.
Okay.
So she's a very macam sebab dia pun anak artis kan. So dia tahu all the brands, all the macam skincare product apa semua. But tapi dia baru je, baru berapa tahun? 8-9 tahun macam tu. So macam kenapa budak-budak perlukan anti-aging serum? You guys don't need that. But yeah, in Get Ready With Me video, diorang guna all the serum, apa semua, retinol. So it's actually dangerous for the kids to use the brand. Even like macam kalau the brand sponsor or bayar the kids untuk buat review and make the product presence in the video. So it's unethical lah for the brand untuk buat benda tu.
Yeah,
affect kids.
I agree. I rasa just from that, macam there are two concerns I see lah, macam major concerns. One is macam now these kids similar to the kid stars back in the day, macam Disney punya stars kan. They obviously they are being controlled by these adults yang money hungry. Ataupun you don't know lah, you don't know behind the scenes kan, macam why are these kids even influencers in the first place? So there might be macam someone behind, normally parents yang manage their accounts kan. So I feel like macam, is it bad? Is it good for the child to be an influencer, to be publicly online, and you know people can view content, not even just kids yang view content, even adults yang you tak tahu dari mana are viewing your kids' content. So that's like the second concern lah, I would say, is are these kids contents made for kids or are they made for adults? So that's like another thing lah to like think about kan. Like we don't know where the viewers are coming from, and these platforms pun macam you cakap, TikTok is not doing anything to moderate like these kid influencers. Lagi-lagi diorang tolak it into the FYP because they know that these kids are gaining or garnering views kan. So it's kind of scary when you think about it. And then like knowing what happened to like the Disney stars or like the Nickelodeon stars kan, sebab okay, I follow them. Macam I grew up with them kan. So macam you see that like whatever happened with like the Disney stars, I would say like macam Miley Cyrus, how she went from like being the Hannah Montana girl to macam country innocent girl, and then she went through all that rebranding of her, and like now she's okay and she can talk about her past. But then like back in the day, it was so chaotic. Macam in terms of like her, you can see like where she shifted, trying to shift the public punya perception.
Dia macam nak buang everything about Hannah Montana.
Yeah, because she grew up kan. She grew up, she used to be a kid star and she doesn't want that image anymore. So being a kid influencer, you will also have that same problem where you dah lah, you tak tahu identity you apa, and then you being put out on screen for everyone to see, and then now you start to like figure out macam, oh, I'm growing up, I want to be different kan. And then it's just the same cycle, I would say, macam what happened with like Jojo Siwa. Jojo Siwa went from like the
She was a sweet child before.
Was she? I don't know, I don't follow, but you know, we all know what happened to her afterwards and her recent punya nikah and transformation. So I would say that would be more towards the mental atau emotional effects of the kid star atau kid influencer itself. But then I think there's a lot of examples. How I see it is that in the future they will also be going through these problems of like trying to find themselves or macam, because we don't know what happened dengan dia punya parents or managers kan, they're being controlled by adults, they definitely will go through some sort of trauma yang sama.
Kids pun dah, I think they are lacking of online privacy. And so macam everyone knows how their life online apa semua kan, and then like outside of social media pun diorang kena jadi, sebab I think mentally dia tak develop lagi fully, and the kids ni So they thought that macam life dia dekat social media is kena jadi sama macam mana life dia dekat outside. So it's a parents responsible jugalah, kan?
Yep. And macam mana? Adults pun have to be responsible lah for whatever their child is doing. So macam I don't know, I just have mixed feelings untuk macam the parents behind these kid influencers, because like what are they trying to gain from, I mean it could be that they just want their child to be macam mana, macam to gain their own money ke kan.
Yeah.
Like, but like, you know, a lot of things come into picture once you're famous online. So it's like a very on the fence kind of thing with like privacy kan. Like now with social media, especially if unrestricted for kids, kita masa dulu kalau kita ada opinion kan, kita cakap kat kawan je lah yang tahu.
Exactly.
But now with social media, whatever that you put out, it will be there forever. So lagi-lagi as an influencer, all the eyes are on you kan.
Yeah.
And then imagine trying to take that back with like the cancel culture yang going on, because they
I
are
want to
not.
say about that juga. Pasal bully. Macam we cannot stop people from commenting kan.
Imagine
yeah.
that, like kita kat sekolah pun dah macam kalau kena bully ataupun apa kan,
Kena judge ke.
kita pun dah, it takes a toll on you as a teenager. Imagine being a teenager online where everyone is allowed to say anything about you.
Kan. So
Yeah.
macam imagine lah, tengoklah kalau ada this one just macam normal kid kan, post like a normal kid, and then like tiba-tiba video diorang FYP macam, oh you macam ni je, life you macam ni, macam mana Sephora ke whatever kan, and then like the kids will macam pressure, and then oh I need to buy a Sephora things apa semua. Tapi macam kesian lah budak-budak yang biasa tu kan, they're just living their normal life, tiba-tiba orang judge.
Yeah. I feel it's a very vulnerable era or phase lah for these children, for these kids, especially in online spaces. So I wouldn't say it's a bad thing totally. Macam there are the perks of it would be like you're more exposed to the world lah kan. Macam like sometimes you terlalu like, you know, your parents are too protective and you don't know that. So well, that's going to be another problem. But having your own voice is important. Having your own knowing your own, having your own opinions is important. So macam I would say it's not totally bad, but like I just hope to see like maybe in the future macam platforms should adapt to that and macam try to make it a better place online for all these younger minors lah, basically.
But brands are taking this as macam opportunity lah of the kids influencer or child influencer kan. Sebab I read this one article from Jing Daily. Dia cakap for instance, earlier this year, accessories retailer Claire's teamed up with several Gen Zalpha creatives as part of its year-long initiative called the Collab. So the collaboration is unsurprisingly, given that Gen Alpha is on track to become the largest generation ever. So surpassing both Gen Z and millennials. In terms of spending, their economic impact is expected hit 5.46 trillion by 2029, which almost as much as the combined spending power of millennials and Gen Z. So macam Gen Alpha dah ada the spending power, purchasing power. So it's for the brand punya opportunity lah.
Yeah, brands will definitely start looking into, you know, appealing towards this group of this generation lah. And yeah, it will be a mess lah. I don't I feel like first I wonder how these kids are macam like how do they get access to buying stuff. Maybe what they mean is like macam kids are macam platforms in the future will have more macam mana? They have more access to purchasing stuff. So I feel like okay, definitely one day brands are gonna start taking advantage of
taking
this group
advantage.
of Gen Alphas kan, since they're now like
But the question here macam should we be making children believe they need to buy more? Macam the pressure of consumerism tu actually tak perlu ada dekat budak-budak lah, tak perlu ada dekat children. They don't have to think and diorang perlu beli ni, diorang perlu beli tu semua kan. So the decision is actually dekat the parents' hands. So yeah.
Yes, consumerism and other they are, meaning they're too prone to like, you know, have needing to buy stuff lah kan. So yeah, so meaning kid influencers punya peranan in the future is much more crucial lah for diorang punya own generation. Like I wouldn't say we're any better Gen Z. We're not a good example.
Yeah.
And I mean, we should be putting out a good example for the younger audience, but I mean, this is something unavoidable lah. I would say, and for brands, I think what we can do is just to be more ethical in our ways, and macam mana, to do our own research lah. And I think it's important to make sure that our children have a safe space online. Kita sebagai brand kan, kalau kita, even if we do employ kid influencers, contoh lah kan kita nak ambil an influencer kid, then we need to make sure that they are not vulnerable lah by the way we put out the content.
Macam Ryan Wells kan, I think dia okay je sebab dia memang, dia as a kid, dia buat kids product. So macam it's sweet, like the kid punya apa kita panggil, punya image as a kid. Macam kalau kids influencers start to promote macam Sephora product apa semua tu, tak kena lah kan. So yeah.
So kena sesuai dengan a kid lah. Like why we asking a kid to promote something yang tak ada kena mengena dengan being a kid. Yeah, so many things yang very questionable about this kid influencer punya industry, but I believe there's still good people out there. And kids, as long as we are responsible adults, we can always nurture a group of responsible kids as well.
Yeah, kena ada regulation.
Yes, regulation. At the end of the day, it's always like regulations put in place lah. So we can try our best to help out these kids so they don't turn out macam kita.
Yeah.
So sentimental. I think that was pretty much like our thoughts on like kid influencers. So macam for me, like I said earlier, I don't think it's a bad thing, but I don't think it's a good thing as well. As long as these spaces or platforms or these corporations are trying to like take advantage of kids, they will never have a nice space online. So at the end of the day, as individuals, we can only help them to be macam like, if we want kid influencers to be in the space, we have to adapt to them lah. Yeah, and be responsible adults.
So I want to quote this. It's crucial to have open and transparent conversations about what kids experience online to help them navigate the pressure of social media marketing. Macam to make sure like macam dorang tak rasa pressure, dorang tak rasa macam fear of missing out, dorang tak left out pun, dorang tak left out apa-apa pun. So maybe kita as adult macam kena play an important role lah untuk navigate diorang ni, sebab kids kan tak tahu apa-apa. And the one yang macam endorse diorang jadi influencer pun the adult juga. So adult should know better lah.
Yep, I agree. So I think that leaves us on a good note lah. So if you like this episode, do give us a like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you soon in the next episode. Thank you. Bye bye.